Jorge Mario Bergoglio, the man who would become Pope Francis, was born in Buenos Aires, Argentina on December 17, 1936. He was the eldest of 5 children in a working-class family. His parents, Mario José Bergoglio and Regina Maria Sivori, were Italian immigrants. Life wasn't always easy. The family faced financial struggles, but young Jorge learned the value of hard work and perseverance. Despite these challenges, Jorge was a bright and curious child. He enjoyed reading, music, and soccer. He attended technical school, where he studied chemistry. This background in science would later influence his views on the environment. After graduating, Jorge worked briefly as a chemist before feeling a higher calling. He decided to join the Society of Jesus, also known as the Jesuits, in 1958. The Jesuits were known for their intellectual rigor and commitment to social justice. For Jorge, this was a perfect fit. He felt drawn to their mission of serving the poor and marginalized. His decision surprised some, but those close to him saw his deep faith and compassion. Jorge's journey as a Jesuit was marked by both academic pursuits and pastoral work. He excelled in his studies, earning a degree in philosophy from the Colegio Máximo San José in San Miguel, Buenos Aires. After completing his studies, Jorge began teaching literature and psychology at 2 Jesuit high schools. This experience further ignited his passion for education and his belief in its transformative power. In 1969, Jorge was ordained as a priest. He took the name Father Jorge Bergoglio. As a young priest, he served in various roles within the Jesuit order. He was a spiritual director, a rector of a seminary, and a provincial superior. In each of these positions, Father Bergoglio demonstrated his characteristic humility and his deep concern for the poor. His time as provincial superior during Argentina's Dirty War was particularly challenging. The country was ruled by a military junta that targeted suspected leftists and dissidents. Father Bergoglio navigated this dangerous period with courage and wisdom. He secretly helped some people escape persecution, always advocating for peace and reconciliation. In 1992, Father Bergoglio was appointed as Auxiliary Bishop of Buenos Aires. This appointment was a testament to his growing reputation as a humble and effective pastor. He quickly rose through the ranks of the church hierarchy. In 1998, he became the Archbishop of Buenos Aires. As Archbishop, he continued to live a simple life, residing in a modest apartment and taking public transportation. He was known for his frequent visits to the slums and his advocacy for the poor and marginalized. In 2001, he was created a cardinal by Pope John Paul II. Cardinal Bergoglio's reputation for humility, simplicity, and pastoral sensitivity made him a popular figure within the Church. He was seen as a voice for the voiceless, someone who understood the struggles of ordinary people. When Pope Benedict XVI resigned in 2013, Cardinal Bergoglio emerged as a leading candidate to succeed him. On March 13, 2013, Cardinal Jorge Mario Bergoglio was elected as the 266th Pope of the Catholic Church. He chose the name Francis in honor of Saint Francis of Assisi, the patron saint of the poor and the environment. The election of Pope Francis sent shockwaves throughout the world. He was the first Jesuit pope, the first pope from the Americas, and the first pope from the Southern Hemisphere. His election was seen as a sign of change and renewal for the Church. From the moment he stepped onto the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica, Pope Francis captivated the world with his humility and warmth. He broke with tradition by choosing to wear simple white vestments and by asking the crowd to bless him before he blessed them. This gesture, so simple yet so profound, signaled a new era for the Church. Pope Francis made it clear that he wanted to be a pope of the people. He continued to live a simple life, refusing to move into the opulent papal apartments and choosing to dine in the communal dining room. He often broke protocol to embrace the sick and the disabled, showing the world the true face of compassion. His warmth and humanity were evident in his every action. He made it a point to visit prisons and hospitals, reminding the world that the Church is called to serve those on the margins of society. His message was clear: the Church should be a field hospital for the wounded, a place of healing and mercy. His actions spoke louder than words, demonstrating his commitment to the poor, the sick, and the marginalized. Throughout his papacy, Pope Francis emphasized the importance of mercy and compassion. He declared a Jubilee Year of Mercy, calling on Catholics to rediscover the importance of forgiveness and reconciliation. He spoke out against the globalization of indifference, urging people to see the humanity in those who are suffering. His message resonated deeply with people of all faiths and none. He challenged the Church to be more welcoming and inclusive, stating that the Eucharist is not a prize for the perfect, but a powerful medicine and nourishment for the weak. He called for a more compassionate approach to divorced and remarried Catholics, recognizing their pain and seeking ways to integrate them more fully into the life of the Church. Pope Francis also reached out to other Christian denominations and other religions. He met with Patriarch Bartholomew of Constantinople, the spiritual leader of Eastern Orthodox Christians, and with other religious leaders. He emphasized the importance of dialogue and understanding, working towards a more peaceful and just world. His efforts to promote interfaith dialogue and understanding earned him respect and admiration worldwide. Pope Francis was not afraid to tackle difficult issues within the Church. He launched a series of reforms aimed at promoting transparency and accountability, particularly in the Vatican's finances. He established the Secretariat for the Economy to oversee the Vatican's financial affairs and to implement stricter financial controls. He also spoke out against corruption within the Church, calling it a leprosy that must be eradicated. He appointed a council of cardinals to advise him on reforming the Vatican bureaucracy, making it more efficient and responsive to the needs of the Church in the 21st century. He also called for a more decentralized Church, giving more power to local bishops and encouraging them to be more responsive to the needs of their communities. Pope Francis also addressed the role of women in the Church. While reaffirming the Church's teaching on the priesthood, he appointed more women to leadership positions within the Vatican. He called for a greater appreciation of the feminine genius. He encouraged the Church to listen more attentively to the voices of women and to recognize their invaluable contributions to the life of the Church. Pope Francis's papacy was not without its controversies. His progressive views on social issues such as climate change, economic inequality, and the death penalty drew criticism from some conservative quarters. His comments on homosexuality, while more nuanced than his predecessors, also sparked debate within the Church. He faced criticism for his handling of the clergy's sexual abuse crisis, with some arguing that he had not done enough to hold bishops accountable for their role in covering up abuse. However, he also took concrete steps to address the issue, establishing a pontifical commission for the protection of minors and issuing new guidelines for dealing with abuse cases. Despite the controversies, Pope Francis remained a popular and respected figure around the world. His humility, his compassion, and his unwavering commitment to the poor and marginalized resonated with people of all faiths and none. His papacy marked a turning point for the Catholic Church, a time of renewal and hope. Pope Francis's influence extended far beyond the walls of the Vatican. He was a vocal advocate for peace, urging dialogue and reconciliation in conflict zones around the world. He played a key role in brokering a rapprochement between the United States and Cuba. He also spoke out against the persecution of Christians in the Middle East and elsewhere. He was a tireless champion for the environment, writing a landmark encyclical on climate change titled Laudato Si. In this document, he called for a cultural revolution to address environmental degradation and to promote sustainable development. He argued that caring for the environment is a moral imperative, an essential part of what it means to be human. Pope Francis's legacy is still being written, but one thing is clear: he will be remembered as a transformative figure who challenged the Church and the world to live up to their highest ideals of compassion, justice, and love. His papacy was a beacon of hope in a world often shrouded in darkness. The world mourned the passing of Pope Francis on April 21, 2025. Tributes poured in from world leaders, religious figures, and ordinary people touched by his life and message. He was remembered for his humility, his compassion, and his unwavering commitment to the poor and marginalized. His death marked the end of an era, but his legacy will continue to inspire generations to come. His call for a more just, merciful, and sustainable world remains as urgent as ever. The Church and the world have lost a true shepherd, a man who lived what he preached and who challenged us all to be better. As the Catholic Church prepares to elect a new leader, the question remains, who can fill the shoes of this extraordinary man? Pope Francis set a high bar, but his example will continue to guide the Church as it navigates the challenges of the 21st century. The world bids farewell to a remarkable leader, a true servant of God and humanity.